I don't like to so-called be prepared.
Just
It's like
like
I'm always ready. You know what I mean? So let's go.
all right, yeah. I might add in an extra question or two because I thought of I thought of them during during my break today. So let's go ahead and do that. I've been playing God of War, beating the game, went through the Valkyries. Um, this was like one of the other questions, but what's your opinion on the latest God of War?
God of War is the best game ever made. Period.
And just for
Best.
them to know, like the viewers to know, you're talking about like the latest entry.
Yeah, the latest God of War game is the best game I feel that has ever been made. Period.
Why is that?
Oh, a few reasons. Well, one, I think that all right, so let's start like this. 'Cause I gotta really break it down so everybody can understand why it's the best, right? Um, when you actually have an AI partner that literally performs perfect, like that's a task that many developers always try to achieve and couldn't for many years. And this is the first time I could truly say that like an AI partner was pretty much flawless. Like throughout the whole journey, Atreus is gangster. That joint's crazy. That was one. Two,
Yeah, yeah.
two, graphically, what the fuck, yo, graphically, and you know how I am with my graphics, son. On the TV and on the TV that I got, and the way I got my settings, nobody never seen God of War the way I know how God of War really look. So for the development talent to pull off that level of quality,
Yeah.
like it looked better than Uncharted 4. Like I mean, I'm literally blown away. Like I haven't seen a game look better than God of War yet. Like seriously, and the only other game I feel that can compete with it is Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man is looking like a beast as well. Death Stranding as well. But as of right now, what you go to store and buy, nah, B, God of War just shut everything down. That was the second thing. The third thing is if anybody has played every single God of War from God of War 1, 2, 3, Chains of Olympus, like every single God of War,
Yeah.
and then seeing what the last God of War did. The way they told this story was like it's more than just an experience. This is something that can actually help you out in real life based on the way they set up the dialogue in the relationship and the way it was voice acted out, everything. It's like the attention to detail, not just from a graphical standpoint, but from the level design to the timing of when things happen, to the pause and the breaks and the action and the climax of it all. They executed it in such a way that God had to touch the developers and say, hey, look, like you need a little bit more than just your natural human ability. I got to give you something, because it was that amazing. So yeah, I don't think there's anybody at the moment right now that's topping God of War. I think God of War is the game of the generation, not just game of the year.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely stands out. And speaking about the developers, like I heard that they had I forgot his name, the producer or creative director. He had a tough time trying to sell this game, back to Sony or trying to make it, happen, just because, of its scale, its size.
Well, you know what it is? A lot of times people have a fear of change, and people get too comfortable with what always worked. And another thing that I love God of War why I love God of War so much is that it's completely different from any other God of War you ever experienced in terms of design. You know what I mean? It is a completely different game, but it's the same franchise, and that right there takes another level of development talent, because not everybody could take something that worked for so long and completely change it from night and day and make it work better. Like, you know what I mean? It was like a collective. It was a collective success from the creator to the consumer and vice versa. Perfect.
Yeah, it was not only that, but I also feel like the God of War series had matured.
Absolutely.
Or it's like, yeah, we get that who Kratos is, his backstory, his lore, everything, but now it's like he's gotten wiser, he's old, he's more hardened. He's like, all right, I could kill you, but I'm going to think with my head first before I go balls to walls rage.
Yeah, see what happens is the best thing about the entire God of War game is the evolution of Kratos.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because if you look at people in general, especially kids, you know what I'm saying? Most kids, they act on emotion because of what they feeling. But just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean it's gonna override what's true. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I always tell people all the time, facts over feelings. You can't let your feelings defeat you. So it takes maturity and wisdom to understand the difference between the truth and what you feel. And now Kratos, where he's at a matured stage. So now he's prepared and he has the right tools and he's properly equipped to be a father. And they showed that in the game. And even with that, he had to build up to being a better person and a qualified person to be a father. But even with that, when you look at how that relates to real life, that's why I love the game so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's something you could take away from it that you can actually use in real life. Think about it. If you come up to somebody and you tell them, yo, you should read this book because it got a lot of information on it, and you go up to somebody and say, yo, you need to play God of War because it can help you with your life. Like, people gonna look at you like, what? But it's a true statement, and a lot of people have said that. So I'm telling you, man, this game breaks barriers.
It definitely does, and you're right about because of the situation that both Kratos and his son are placed in, and for people who have, and it hits home more for people who have that father. Not it doesn't have to be father and son relationship strain, but the strain between father and daughter as well, and for the situations that Kratos and his son are placed in, people can relate to it.
Oh, absolutely, by far. See, that's my thing too. Like, with God of War being, to me, like I said, the best game ever made, is because I feel from start to finish, from talent level, from creativity, like, without losing the character, you actually made the character better than he ever was.
Yeah.
Like, this is not easy to do. Excuse me. You know what it's like? It's like when you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Kobe Bryant, and you look at LeBron James. You see someone and you feel like nothing could never get better than that or exceed that. Now, don't get me wrong, I still feel Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But in this day and age, there's a lot of people, a significant amount of people, that feel LeBron James is the GOAT. Now, to be honest, as a basketball player all around, I would say LeBron James is a better all around player than Michael Jordan. But the things that LeBron James done, it's not that Michael Jordan couldn't do. It's just that he wasn't needed. He wasn't required to do that because of the team he was on. So you can't say he can or can't. All you could do is look at what they've done. And if you look at Sony Santa Monica, look at what they've done. How many other game developers that can take an old franchise and bring it back in such a different way and make it mean more now than it ever did back in the PS2 era when it first came out? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Definitely.
It's incredible.
But I was about to say, no love for Dennis Rodman. What's going on here?
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Dennis Rodman, Jordan didn't have to rebound, baby. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to worry about getting triple doubles because he already proved that he had other members that could do that. Like LeBron, like Michael Jordan didn't have to worry about being a point guard because Scottie Pippen was a point forward. You know what I'm saying? So all Jordan had to do was focus on what he did best, and that was score and create, score, be clutch, and create scenarios with him being so deadly that he can actually utilize his team and help make them better. That's all he really had to focus on. He had to focus on everything else. Like, look at us and what we do. You got some personalities that they got a camera person, they got a social media person, they got a this, they got a that, they got everything they need. So all they gotta do is focus on what they focus on. Then you got other personalities that they gotta do the interviews, they gotta do the editing, they gotta do their own video work, they gotta do their own social media, they gotta do everything themselves. So on the outside looking in, one person may be in a higher level, but that's because they got a lot of stuff being done for them. Whereas you got somebody that don't got that luxury and they doing everything themselves, but they still being mentioned in the same sentence. So in reality, the person that got to do more is the one that's more valuable. You know what I mean? That's just the way I look at it.
Ain't that the truth?
Word up, you know.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah. For people who don't know who you are, and I'd be surprised at that. If you could, mention like, what you do, your background, and all that.
Okay, so what I do is I'm a gaming journalist, I'm a media personality, I'm a music artist, and I'm also a consultant. I'm also a consultant now. I'm doing a lot of things on that level, and I'm also a content creator, and that's pretty much what my skill set lies in. In terms of my background, everybody knows. Well, if you don't know, my grandmother, rest in peace, she's the one who taught me how to play video games when I was 4 years old. So I literally been playing games all my life. The very first game I ever played was Pac-Man, but Super Mario Brothers was the game that made me a gamer, like for real, literally for the rest of my life. So right now, currently, I'm just one of the things that happened to me that changed my life was when Torrance Davis, shout out to Torrance, that's the big brother right there, legendary. He's the one who pretty much gave me my entire start from a professional standpoint, showed me the ropes and taught me a lot of things to help me become what I am today. And once I went to E3 for that first year in 2008, when I went to E3, everything else, it was over after that. Because two things happened. The industry never seen anybody like me before, so they took me for a joke at first. Who's this dude from the hood, this young dude, minority black dude from the hood with a belt? What he gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was written off, like, out the gate. And when I did my interview with Aaron Greenberg and I did my interview with Hideo Kojima, everybody was like, yeah, everybody was like, yo, how the hell did he do that? And he don't need, this is his first, like, wait. Everybody had to stop and pay attention. And then I was the #1 article on N4G every time I posted anything. Like, it was crazy. Like, I dominated everything. And so at that particular time, everybody started really seeing who I was and what I was doing, and they was loving it, and some people loved to hate it, but either way, everybody was put on notice that I was here, it was real, I knew what I was talking about, and developers especially and companies especially really embraced me because they was like, wow, like, there's a lot of times they get certain journalists in here and they either ask the same dumbass questions or they just don't, or they just not in tune no more. Like, they kind of like looking at it as a job instead of their lifestyle. Yeah. And it was a breath of fresh air when I came through. But in reality, I'm someone that should be the norm. If you're just as passionate, if you're passionate like you say you are, we should all share that same passion. And that's when everybody really started to know the difference, and I started to kind of carve out my own lane because I was merging hip hop and games and just all forms of entertainment in an authentic manner that the industry never seen before. So that's pretty much my background there. And at the moment, I'm a partnered brand with Hot 97, the #1 brand in hip hop radio station and global footprint. I'm also a sponsored brand partnered with Logitech G. So that's one of the biggest things, to be able to take hip hop and the biggest company in tech and merge them together, do content and just a big movement like that. That's amazing. So I'm doing that, and it's just so much more. But I'm also a character in Watch Dogs 2.
No, nice.
I'm a character in Watch Dogs 2. I did a song for Watch Dogs 2. I'm a character in NBA Playgrounds, and I'm gonna be in NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 coming out. I did a new song for For Honor, and I did a song for Logitech G as well. So we working on music videos for that. It's just crazy right now, man. It's serious.
You're doing everything.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, man. There's a lot of other stuff that I'm doing too, but I want to leave stuff to the surprise. You know what I mean? Yeah. When it happened, y'all see it.
Yeah, definitely. And when you were talking about the mix between hip hop and gaming, which is an excellent mix right there. It can be just about any kind of music genre. As long as you have the passion for both of them, and you know how to mix them well creatively, it's great. But as of late, and I'd like your opinion on this. As of late, there's been that toxic mixture of politics in gaming.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, to me, like, one thing that anybody learn about me, I'm in this world, but I'm not of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm led by love. I put God first, and I genuinely care about people. I'm one of those type of dudes that actually, like, give a fuck. Excuse me for cursing, but
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
really, I really do care. Like, about like people. I care about real things. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love playing games. You know how we do, but at the end of the day, we got lives to live.
Hmm.
Kids to teach, and I really care about that stuff. So to me, from a political standpoint, I don't really care about politics, and the reason why is because a lot of it is based off lies. It's based off how one person feel everybody else should be, and that's wrong. The only law of the land is God's law. Everybody else is just the way they feel about something or the way they should be. And if you get a large enough group of people to go along with something, if you don't join in the pack, then they all go against you to make you look like the bad person. Nah, I'm not with that. I stand up against anybody. So politics and all that toxic stuff, I really don't care about it. I don't pay attention to it. But if it's brought to me and people want to know my thoughts on something, I'll tell you my thoughts. It's no problem.
All right, all right. What games? No, only of this year. Ever made like an impression on you? I mean, aside from God of War, we kind of know that, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what
we all
other
know that. But
games?
what other games?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Another game that I feel truly, truly. Are you talking about games that's released already?
Yeah, yeah. This year.
Okay. So as of this year, I'm gonna tell you right now, Dragon Ball Fighter Z
Oh
came out of
yes.
nowhere, and that joint is phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal. The only thing I can say about it that I wish was better would be how the story mode was handled. I think the story mode was handled real poorly in terms of the way they did it. I just wish, I'm spoiled you, man. Like once NetherRealms started doing the stories in Mortal Kombat and Justice, the way they did it,
Hmm.
I mean, some of their stories is better than the movies you go see. Like it's that great. So that's the standard to me. And I feel Dragon Ball Z didn't touch that. Tekken 7 didn't touch that at all either. But in terms of that game, period, that blew me away. That was a mind blowing game. So that really surprised me this year in a big way. I know a lot of people love Monster Hunter. I
Yeah.
can't stand that damn game.
Ah,
I,
love it.
I don't like Monster Hunter at all. I think a lot of people like. Here's my thing, right? I understand people like the Dark Souls type of games and the Bloodborns of the world.
Hmm.
I just feel like people are manipulated, man. I think a lot of people like, for instance, right? Like I don't like when people ignore certain things in some games, but then take points off and make it the highlight of another game because you don't like it or whatever. Like I don't like the inconsistencies. That's why Shots Fired started. Because I be calling out people on their bullshit ass reviews. So it's like I give you an example, right? Monster Hunter has a ton of tech issues. Like you can literally live inside another animal's body just by walking through that joint. Like the clipping in that game is horrible. And then they have a targeting system, like an auto targeting system,
Yeah.
and that joint just don't work. Like the auto targeting system doesn't work. Like so when you try to evade and do certain things, and then it takes you like 40 minutes to kill one enemy, and if you don't kill it in time, you gotta do it over again. Like, nah, it's just not fun for me, man. I can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I will be using cheat codes when the PC version come out, so I could avoid those issues because I'm interested in what the story is like
There,
because I'm a
there,
big story-driven person.
don't even bother then, because there's no real story behind Monster Hunter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm being
I thought
honest.
it
I'm being
was
100%
because it started
honest
out.
with
Because
you.
it started out. If you look at the intro
Mm-hmm.
scene, it
Mm-hmm.
seems like it's gonna be something impactful.
Nope.
That's why I was interested in it.
Nope.
Wow,
Nope.
wow. See what I'm talking about?
Don't even bother. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Monster Hunter. Fell in love with the series when I was living in Japan. I played Monster Hunter online. Loved it. But in terms of story, there is a lore, but it's not like deep. You're not talking about like God of War deep or
Got
anything
you.
like that.
Understand. Now another game I would tell you, and I'm gonna say this right now. The Crew 2
Mm-hmm.
is like night and day in comparison to the Crew 1. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Crew 2 is absolutely the best racer of this year. But we still gotta wait till Forza Horizon 4 drop and see how that turns out. But at this point, I don't see nothing better than the Crew 2. And I'm not just talking about this year. At this point, the entire generation, I don't think there's anything that's better than the Crew 2. And I'm a huge Drive Club fan. I don't care what nobody say. I love Drive Club. But the Crew 2, it has it all. It has it all, and it does it all at the highest level. The Crew 2 is like LeBron James. It does everything at a high level.
Nice, nice.
Period. And no other racing game does that. Period. So, yeah, that's another one. So, yeah, between the Crew 2, God of War, you know, there's a lot of games I'm looking forward to, like Red Dead 2 and Shadow of Tomb Raider. That looks great. Spider-Man looks incredible. So those games I'm looking forward to. It was great playing Crash Bandicoot on PC in 4K. That was a great experience. Madden 19. This is absolutely the best development team that has ever worked on a Madden game. This is the best Madden ever created. It surprised the hell out of me. Madden 19 that was a shocker. I've been playing that joint hard body. That was a shocker for real. Yeah, but there's just so many games. But things that really stood out to me was the Crew 2, Dragon Ball Z, and God of War, like majorly. Those stood out like crazy. It's just so much stuff. And was Resident Evil 7 wasn't this year, right?
No, it was like last year or something.
That was last year, right? All right, yeah. Cool. Just trying to think. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not leaving nothing out, which I know I'm probably am.
Well, there is going to be that remake of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, but is that this year or not?
I want to say this year, but it might.
No, I think it's next year. Yeah, next year.
All right, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and then you got Kingdom Hearts 3 next year.
God, finally!
Man, oh my God, it's too much, man. That's what I'm saying. It's just so many great games and great things, and I'm just loving it all, man. I'm playing everything, bro. Oh wait, Far Cry 5. I love Far Cry 5. That's my game right there. Love that game. Nice. I just had to mention that.
Now, out of all the games that you played and the ones that will be coming out, like, what do you consider, to be of greater value? Graphics, story, characters, or gameplay?
Wow, that's a damn good question. Okay, so from a gamer standpoint, gameplay is always king. From a gamer standpoint, gameplay is always king. From a business standpoint, graphics is king. And I'll tell you why. Not necessarily graphics, but just something that looks great. Something that's presented well. Because if you look at something and it don't look good, you're not going to touch it. And if you don't touch it, if you're not getting me to touch it, then everything that you did with gameplay means nothing because I'm not going to play it.
Yep.
So to me, I feel like a lot of these game developers, they gotta pay attention to gameplay. They gotta pay attention to the marketing and the way something looks and the way it's presented, just as important and as of value as the gameplay. If you, from a business standpoint, you have to. If you're a hardcore gamer and you're just the type of person that just want to try everything and play everything because you're just that hardcore, you'll discover it on your own. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you're a person that's trying to make sure that your game reaches the masses, then it needs to be presented in a way where the masses will care about it. So that's the way I look at it.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah. But with your opinions about the Switch, because a lot of people, this happens every single time. Nintendo comes out with a new console, like the Wii and the Wii U and the Switch. Like they keep doubting it. They're like, "Oh, this is the end of Nintendo. No, this is Nintendo's last gen." It's like, in Nintendo, every single time, like, nope, sound like pancakes.
Well, you know what it is, and I was telling people about this before. Like, when it comes to Nintendo, it's a gift and a curse. The gift is their nostalgia. Yeah. Their nostalgia is what keeps them afloat. the curse is the same thing that keeps them afloat is going to be the same thing eventually that kills them, unless they change their ways. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. There's going to come a point in time where the people that grew up with Mario and all this other stuff, the new generation of kids that's growing up, they growing up off of Call of Duty, they growing up off of Grand Theft Auto, they growing up off of Fortnite, they growing up off of different things. So Mario don't mean as much to them like it means to us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And eventually nostalgia is going to wear off because the people that made the nostalgia valuable, gonna die. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna be around, and it, at some point they're gonna be very content and settled with what they already got, that they're not gonna be as quick to want to go get something else. The reason why the Switch is doing so well is because it's a 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
You could take it with you, and you could use it as your own console. So that's why it's doing very well, and that's great because they're creative with how they design their system. That makes sense. That's great. But the problem is, now that you did this, like, what's next? Is it going to be the same thing but just with better graphics? Can't go that route, because we know that you can't compete with Microsoft and Sony directly when it comes to that. I don't care how much money you got; they got more. And it's just like if you're a lawyer in a case. It's like, if I got more money than you, I can beat you just by the amount of money that I have, because you won't be able to keep your lawyer, and then you're gonna wind up losing. So it's like, it's so many ways to look at it. So I think Nintendo is very smart, but I think if for longevity, when I mean for longevity, I'm talking about like for the next 10 to 15 years, I think the Nintendo as a brand should focus on things outside of gaming, like, have a Nintendo theme park, which I think they're building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have, like, do other things outside of gaming, so Nintendo as a brand could be something that will always live on beyond just games, so you don't have to rely on one area to define you. And I think if they go that route, which it seems like they're going, then there's always going to be a space in the marketplace for them in terms of what they do.
No,
So I think that's the way they should do it.
they could always do like another live-action Mario movie.
No, hell no. No. Don't ever let that. Yo, son. Yo, that was one of the worst experiences, I think, in the history of anything that was a movie.
Yeah. It
Like,
was.
like that was. Yo, the Super Mario Brothers movie was so bad that it made Street Fighter the movie look good.
Dude.
Like,
Street
that's.
Fighter movie was amazing because it had Raul Julia, and he's
Son.
an amazing actor.
Yo, no, bro. It's like, if you ever give Street Fighter the movie a compliment, it has to be when you're talking about Super Mario Brothers the movie. That's the only way you could do it.
Well, Mortal Kombat movie was good for what it is.
Well, part one, the first Mortal Kombat
Yes.
movie was amazing.
Yes.
The Mortal Kombat 2
No.
is the reason why you didn't see a Mortal Kombat 3 or any other Mortal Kombat movie.
That went
That
to,
joint was horrible.
like directly to video, didn't it?
Yo, Mortal Kombat 2, nah. It went in the movie theaters, and after it went triple wood, plastic, bust ass, that joint went to like video and stuff like that. That joint was horrible, bro.
Oh man,
Horrible.
that's a shame right there.
Yeah, that joint was a downgrade from 4K to 480p. That's how bad that was, son.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but I'm sure that there's gonna be other movie to video games or video games to movies that are coming out. Like what was it? Oh right, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Well, I love the Tomb Raiders with Angelina Jolie in it. Those was great, actually.
Yeah.
And also, I love the Resident Evil movies. Like, the Resident Evil movies was damn good. Like, I really, really enjoyed that.
The first one, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the first one, but there was another one that was good too, and then it started getting a little crazy. But for the most part, it was still a solid series. I would say that it was a solid series, But yeah, man, like, I truly feel that Nintendo, as long as they stay in a lane, in the way they're doing it, they're gonna be just fine. And as long as they learn to expand, because like Nintendo still do a lot of bonehead stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like a copy strike when you trying to promote their game. like dumb shit, or the online infrastructure is still poor. Like it's like Nintendo, there's a lot of things that they need to. They just take so long to adapt to what's happening in the world. Like you know what I mean? Like the market could be changing, and they won't adapt to the market until like 15 years later. So they're always late for everything. They always late, and that's why I said what I said. They have the luxury of doing what they do because of the nostalgia that they've created over the years. That's the only reason why they get away with it. You know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but you can't deny they come out with some pretty fun games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't come out with good games or fun games, but I don't like when people try to compare their games to, like, Legend of Zelda. Cool, it's a nice game, I get it, whatever. But ain't no way in the world Legend of Zelda is supposed to be winning Game of the Year over no Horizon Zero Dawn, bro.
Oh, right.
Hell no. But the only reason why I won was because it's Zelda. And to prove my point is this, right? Every time, if Super Mario never existed, and Legend of Zelda never existed, Metroid, none of these games never existed, and the very first time, let's say this year was the very, very, very first time these games is being released.
Okay.
These games would probably be treated like little independent budget type of titles. They wouldn't have the impact like they have now because of the nostalgia being around for 30 years. So the point I'm trying to make is, are these games really as good as y'all say they are? Or are you living off of the emotion of nostalgia that is clogging your judgment in terms of what's actually true? Because if you look at Horizon Zero Dawn and you look at Legend of Zelda, there's no way, from gameplay to graphics to creativity to everything, that you're going to sit up there and tell me that Legend of Zelda beats this game. There's no way you're going to sit there and tell me that. So what else is the deciding factor that's making these things happen? It's Zelda. It's almost like, it's like if you look at hip hop, right? If somebody says that, if somebody was to come out and say Kendrick Lamar is better than Biggie Smalls, people gonna probably want to fight you. You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody come out and say Eminem is a better lyricist than Biggie Smalls, somebody will probably come out and fight you. But in reality, he is. Like, Eminem is a better, actually, to me, I think Eminem is the best lyricist I've ever heard. Like, I never heard anybody do what he did in hip hop to that level. And don't get me wrong, you got other people that come close. Like, you got people like Tech Nine, you got people like Kendrick Lamar, you got people like Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people like, you know, like Big Pun. Like, you got people that can do things like he did, but to the level, to the extreme that he took it, I never seen nobody do that in hip hop in my life. Period. So, and a lot of people will feel like you can't say that. Eminem is white. You can't give him that props. Too much props because he's white. And like I told you, when it comes to politics, I don't care. I don't care. Eminem is that guy. Now, I wouldn't say he's the best artist ever.
No.
Because to me, I feel like when it comes to best artists, I got to get at the Jay, because I seen Jay take hip hop overall as a whole to levels that I never seen anybody else take it, and to do what Jay-Z did from 1996 to 2018, there's no artist I've ever seen do that the way Jay did it for that long, to be that consistent. He's on tour right now, like Killer, like nah. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say,
so,
theatrical wise, it would be Tupac, but you know, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, well, in terms of, to me, Tupac is the heart of hip hop.
All right, yeah.
Like if you had a Jesus that was specifically for hip hop, it's Tupac. Like that's it. Like, Tupac is the absolute pure heart of hip hop. And and like the next person that would be labeled as that, if you want to talk errors, would be DMX.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, really. DMX, of course. Yo, DMX would do gospel. He'll do, like, have you heard Slipping, I'm Falling, I Can't Get Up? and he could go from that to stop being greedy. And he's real. Let me tell you how real DMX is. Let me tell you how real DMX is and how raw he is. There was an interview with DMX where he was on a radio station, right? And the guy asked him, you know, what do he feel is the problem with hip hop because everything is so fake and dumbed down and everything like that. DMX said, well, you got people that's in control of hip hop that don't know what hip hop is, that don't come from hip hop, don't care about hip hop, yet they're in control of hip hop because they got the power financially.
Yeah.
So he said, how do we? So the guy was like, how do we change that? The way we change it is pretty much do what we did when hip hop first started. Play what we want to play, do what we want to do, lead the way. That's what it was. We created a voice for ourselves musically, and we did it the way we wanted to do it. So but the thing is, it can't just be one person.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a hip hop head or whatever, not a rapper, a hip hop head.
Now, what's
There's
the
a difference between hip hop and rap is rap is something you do. Hip hop is something that you live.
Okay.
Hip hop is something that you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like gamers. You know, you can't sit here and say, oh, I play Fortnite sometime, and then you're just all of a sudden a gamer in the culture. Like, nah.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't come to you and you call yourself this hardcore gamer in the culture and you embody this culture and you don't even know who Kojima is, or you don't know who Nolan Bushnell is, or you don't know, or at least took the time to learn about what made the industry great. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who James Lawson is. James Lawson, that's the dude that created the cartridge. We wouldn't have Nintendo and all these other joints if it wasn't for James Lawson, and that's a black guy, and nobody even highlights him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what it means to be a gamer, a part of the culture, and represent. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. You can't just pick up a game and be like, oh, now I'm a gamer because you played Tetris yesterday, and that's it. Like, nah, B. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be for the culture. You got to live it. You understand what I'm saying? It's got to be you. So that's the difference between hip-hop and a rapper. See, like, a rapper is someone that'll come up and just rap, but don't know shit about hip-hop, the culture, where it came from, how it started, what it took, the sacrifices. Like, they don't care about none of that. All they care about is, I can make some money by putting words together. Okay, I'm a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what a rapper is. But a hip hop artist is the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you know, being authentic to what you have to say, the message, like all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. You know what I mean? So, you know, I you know me, man. I'm just very passionate about this because a lot of people, like my man Damon Dash says, you got a lot of people that's culture vultures. They're just opportunists. They see what they could get out of something, but never put anything into it. You know what I mean? That's like right now. I'm looking, for example, on your Mixer, you got 700 and some followers on Mixer.
Yeah.
So like, let's say a company wanted to give you money because you got a large follower base or whatever, and some random dude or random girl come up and they want like 50% of the cut, but they did nothing to help you build this following.
I'll tell them to fuck off.
It's like, you ain't, what the hell you doing here? You're just an opportunist. You just opportunist because you know me and you're just trying to be a part of the culture because you see where it's at now.
Yeah.
Come on, B. That's the difference between hip hop and rap.
Okay, all right. That's actually a really good analogy, right there, because, for people who are like gamers, like such as yourself and me, it's like, it's difficult this day and age because people can be like on mobile or just play with on Fortnite, as you said, and be like, all right, I'm a gamer now. I'm living the gamer life. It's like, nah.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You know what I'm saying? Yo, dog, like, and that's the problem. See, the thing is, the more you allow anything into the culture, the more it devalues it. You understand? Like, you gotta look at it like this, right? Brand value is more important than the capital value.
Yeah, it is.
Because brand value will allow you to last forever. The respect comes with the cash and all this other stuff. But if you do something just to get the money, then the moment a certain deal don't go through, You're only as good as your last deal. You're only as good as the moment. Hip hop is forever. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Hip hop is something that's forever. Rapping is not forever for certain people. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, so that is a big difference right there, bro.
Hell of a difference. That's for sure. But yeah.
Yep.
But you know, everything evolves. Music, gaming, rap, entertainment, movies always evolve. And right now, things are going in terms of gaming. Things are going in the direction of VR. What's your opinion on VR?
I love VR. What? VR is fire. Hell yeah. Yo, I'm telling you right now, one of the games I'm looking forward to with VR is this game called Blood and Truth. Blood and Truth was a game that was made based off the London Heist that came with the PSVR Worlds game that came with the PlayStation VR headset. Yo, this joint is fire. Like, PlayStation VR, what I love about it is that it actually works. Like, we're at a time now where it works, it looked great, feel great, and I'm all in. I'm all in. Excuse me, I'm all in on VR. Here's the problem with VR though. Here's the problem that I feel, and this is more of a overall market thing. Like, the way VR will be successful, you can't have too many players in a game this early. I think that's a major problem, because you got the Oculus Rift, you got, you know, the Gear VR, you got HTC Vive, you got PlayStation VR, and from a consumer standpoint, the majority of the VR stuff that's out there that you hear about and see are hella expensive. So immediately, it's something that you like, you enjoy, but you're not going to invest in it. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that you like and enjoy. But if you like it and you enjoy it, why wouldn't you invest in it? See, that's the thing. The barrier of entry is where I see the problem is. And I feel like the only way VR is going to, not to say that it hasn't taken off, because PlayStation VR has been very successful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it actually has. But in terms of that commercial level of success, like how you see a PlayStation or a Nintendo Switch, or, you know, just brand wise and everything like that, I feel that PlayStation VR needs to have easier access. And what I mean by that is, every mall you go to, everything that you go to that's not gaming centric. Like, I would love to walk into a JCPenney and play PlayStation VR. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to walk into a Shake Shack and play PlayStation VR. See, the thing is, in this day and age, you gotta go where all the attention is at.
Yeah.
And most of these companies, what they do, they constantly spend money in areas that they already exist in. Like, I'm not gonna spend money to have you look at me if you're already looking at me before I spent the money. So I'm trying to find new eyeballs. See, if you're a hardcore gamer, you're gonna know about what I do. You're gonna search me out because we hardcore with it. So I don't gotta really pretty much sell to you on that level, because you're already gonna know. You understand what I'm saying? But for those that don't know, that don't search me out, that don't seek me out, I gotta do more to reach those eyeballs and reach those people and how they respond to what I got. And that's why a lot of these marketing companies and everything, they're very ignorant to today's standards, because they're only as good as the way things were before. See, for example, this is the difference between being good and being great.
Yeah.
See, if you're good at what you do, that's great, but are you good for the moment, or are you great for eternity? See, if you're good for the moment, that means that the way the market is working for your abilities. The market is catering to your skill set at the moment. So right now, you look dominant, you look amazing, you're looking like a legend. But let's say, but as soon as the market changes and things start happening and disruption starts coming, are you able to adapt? Are you able to adjust? Are you able to be just as great in this position as you are you able to be as great in the current position as you were in your position before? If not, then you're only as good as the market allows you to be. And if the market defines your skill set and ability, then the moment the market change, You have to change, and if you don't change, you get left. And if you get left, you're not looked at with the same value like you used to be looked at, and now you're replaceable.
That can be said a lot for for streamers these days, like the top streamers like Dr. Disrespect and Ninja and all that, because their marketing basically, if you look at it, kind of like they're no different from like those who are NASCAR drivers. They have sponsorships and all that, and if they can't really evolve to like what is next in the level of gaming, in terms of gaming, then they just fall behind.
Absolutely. See, the thing is, like when you look at someone like a Ninja and a Dr. Disrespect, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ninja and Dr. Disrespect because they working hard and doing their thing. What I would say is like, and I hope this doesn't happen, but my thing is, let's say one morning you wake up and there's a news article saying, is Fortnite still worth it?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, Fortnite goes from millions of people watching it and playing it to 500,000, 400,000. Next thing you know, a new game comes out, blah blah blah. Like, and then let's say when a new game come out, you're hoping to have the same success with the new game like you did with Fortnite, but for some reason, it's just not clicking.
It's
just not working.
With another game, and it was called Minecraft. Remember that?
Yep.
Remember
See?
Minecraft?
remember Minecraft? Now, as big as Minecraft, was and all this other stuff, not to say it's not still a big title, but is it what it was? Nope. Fortnite is the one right now. And my thing is, and this is what I said before, if you're only as good as the market allows you to be, you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? You have to create a scenario where you don't go to the market comes to you by way of how you are leading the way.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're always in a leadership position, and as long as you always have the ability to see things before it happen, because you're so well invested and obsessed within your passion in the culture, you're always going to be a step ahead. So you're always preparing for the change. So you're not just looked at as a leader for the moment. You're looked at as a leader for eternity. And that's the difference between who's good and who's great. Think about it like this, right? I've been professionally in the industry since 2008.
Yeah.
It's 2018, right? And from 2008 to 2018, and like I said, it's a grind. Stuff don't happen overnight. But what I can say, and I thank God so much. This is like one of the biggest, most humbling things I could say. It's like the highest level of humility. It's something that I will actually cry about because it's that powerful to me. But I've managed from 2008 to 2018 to be blessed to be in a situation where I don't need a day job anymore. I'm doing what I love to do every day. I'm traveling. I'm meeting people. I'm helping people. I'm merging brands together that never would have merged together before. I'm creating content. I'm literally doing everything that I've always wanted to do and more, and discovering my own skill sets and abilities that I didn't even know existed. Like my girl, right there for me, Mika, my girl, like she tells me all the time in terms of like things that she see in me over the years and how I've grown and things like that. So to me, when you hear things like that and you working with, big situations, but yet I can still always be myself and achieve that, that right there to me alone is the difference between people that's good and replaceable as opposed to people that's great and solidified with who they are. And everybody knows the difference, and to prove that, recently when I was at Michael Packer's party, someone came up to me and they was like, yo man, I know we never really spoke or nothing, but I've seen you for so many years. You always here, you never change, you always show love, you always humble, you got great content, and you never change. Like you never allow this industry to change you or nothing. And I just appreciate that and I admire that because he was very open about how he changed to fit into the industry because he felt like he needed to.
Yeah.
And that right there is sad because something that you're passionate about shouldn't make you feel forced to do that. But that just goes to let you know who's in control. So you got to decide: do you want to be in control and take all your wins and take all your losses and just go hard, or you're gonna allow yourself to be controlled and be on the wrong side of history when it's all said and done. So it's like, yo, no risks, no rewards.
Yeah, I was
I
just
go all
about
out
to
for
say
mine.
that. I was just about to say that too. You know, because if you want to change something, you're gonna have to risk it. If you want to grab that nice fat reward, you're gonna have to risk it all. And if you can't do that, you know, you just go with the flow, then you're just another fish in the stream. That's all.
Yo, dude, I'm telling you right now, that could never be me.
Yeah, dude,
Like-
dude, you left the stream. You left
You
it.
know what I'm saying? that could never be me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I'm telling you right now, like, I'm just focused. I'm on a whole nother level. I got a lot of things coming up. You know what I'm saying? I was just on Fox 5 News, talking about, you know, hip hop and how Queens affected hip hop. Even though I'm from Brooklyn, let's get it straight. I'm from Brooklyn, but you know I live in Queens now. And my good friend Lisa Evers on Fox 5 News, I love her to death. She's amazing. Allowed me to be on a panel with DMC, Roxanne Shante,
Nice.
Cayenne, and my man Lyrical Links. So think about it like this: I'm the only game journalist that's in those conversations. Now think about it. The panel wasn't about gaming; it was about hip hop. But the fact that I made myself valuable in hip hop and gaming and any other area, it don't matter what it is. I always know how to bring value, and as long as you know how to bring value, that's the difference once again between being good and being great.
It makes you think because you don't really hear a lot about people from IGN, GameSpot, Eurogamer, the list goes on, Polygon, you know, to join these panels. Let that
Like,
sink
you
in.
don't.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, no, you don't. but see, the thing is, the reason why is because, see, here's the deal. Like, when you look at IGN and stuff like that, they have a box and he puts certain people in it,
Yeah.
and they pretty much let you know your worth by controlling what you can and can't do. I mean, I remember having real conversations. I can't say his name, and the only reason why I can't say his name because y'all know me, I name drop all the time. You know what I'm saying? But the only reason why I can't say his name because out of respect, he asked me not to, and
Alright,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
I'm a man, so I gotta respect it.
Yeah.
If he didn't say that, then I would say his name.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, I had a deep conversation with him, and he was telling me because he was in the industry way before I was, and he was like, "Yo, he remembered the times where IGN wasn't allowed to talk to GameSpot, like." You know,
yeah,
game trailers wasn't allowed to have conversations, you know, with you know, G4, you know, Tech TV and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like certain things, you know, like people that work for those companies wasn't allowed to have those type of conversations. And I'm like, we supposed to be look, I'm gonna keep it so real with you. If you go to the NBA, yeah, you got teams that you're playing against, but there is an All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
There's a time where we all come together for the betterment of the culture of what we do this for. And I feel like for selfish reasons and stuff like that, people lose sight of what's important.
Yeah.
And I just never lost sight of what's important because the reason why I do what I do stems from my grandmother, and I think about my grandmother every day. So my priorities is always in check because of where it came from.
Do you think I wouldn't say the industry, but the community in general has become more inclusive, just really hurting themselves by making labels and kind of creating these factions?
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing creating factions. Is what you do with them that's the bad thing. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, like, you know, everybody got their groups and their cliques. It's like, look, in hip hop, you got the Locks, you got G Unit, you got Dipset, you got Tribe Called Quest.
Vanilla
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, hell no, don't we not we not going there. You know, he has a good show on the Home Network and stuff, but nah, like we ain't going there. So, but my thing is, it's like, you know, everybody got their clique. You got your team. You know what I'm saying? Cool. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I got my clique. Get Money Gamers. GMG. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's what you do as a unit. Like, what are you bringing to the table? What can you do to help the other unit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? How you move says a lot about your character, and I pay attention to that because I'm from the hood, I'm from the bottom, I'm from the struggle, and character is everything to me. So depending on how you move will tell me a lot about you. And I'm not a hateful person, so you would never see me come at anybody that way. But what I will say is this: you have people in this world that's a cancer. They are very cancerous. So I'm not going to fight with cancer because the moment I engage in cancer, what do I get? Cancer. So my thing is, I just cut the cancer off. And I pray that that cancer will not be a cancer to anyone and also won't be a cancer to themselves.
Which is why we never talk about Ben Kuchera. So moving on to the next question.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. My only, just to touch on that real quick. My only issue with Ben Kuchera. Oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate it. So no, I ain't talking to you, dog. But seriously, my only issue with Ben Kuchera was that I just don't appreciate people that's fake, and I don't appreciate people that don't keep the same energy when you in front of them. That I don't like that. So like what happened is long story short, I had an incident in 2009 because I was very excited about Killzone being shown in 3D at the Sony conference, and because you ever been in the audience where you're clapping and then like you may get like 2 extra claps after everybody else done stop clapping, and then that's it. But it wasn't nothing over, it wasn't nothing overzealous or anything like that. So what happened is that happened. I did that. You know my energy. Yeah. And some dude that I never seen again, but there was some dude. He looked like he was Russian or something like that. He leaned back and said, "Oh my God, why don't you shut the fuck up?" That's what he told me. Now, you got to understand something. I'm gonna just be honest with you. This was my second year going to E3, right? And I'm not fully who I am today in terms of the man I've become, in terms of maturity and things like that. So it's not about what they do. It's about how you react. Yeah. It's about what you do that defines your character. It's not what they do. And at that moment, it was a very big cultural shock to me because coming from where I come from and knowing what gaming has done for my life, I'm thinking the game industry is just nothing but love. I'm thinking that the game industry is literally heaven because that's the way it's been for me. Like, you know what I mean? So when that happened, immediately, like East New York, Brooklyn, activated in my head. Like it was. See, in the hood, if somebody was to just come out and say that to you in front of people, like you could die over some shit like that. Like I'm just being honest, and I'm not saying I'm some. No, I ain't never did anything like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the way he did what he did, coming from where I come from, you can die over something that simple.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that.
So for me, when it happened, and you know me, I'm happy all the time. Like, I'm good. When it happened, I was like, what? I was, I was about to get him. Like my mind I was crazy. But my boy that was with me calmed me down, and he told me something very important. Shout out to my man Solidproof, because I haven't spoken to him in years. But he said something very important. And anybody that's listening or that will listen to this, please take heed to this. He said, look at what you've become. Look at where you at. Look at what you're doing. Like, don't let this one moment ruin what you worked so hard for literally your entire life. And when he said that and put everything into perspective, he made me realize that I need to care about myself. I need to value myself. I need to love myself better. And that's a problem. The world make you feel like the moment you put your own self on some sort of pedestal or make yourself feel good, oh, you selfish, you shouldn't do that. You should let other people say you good. You shouldn't tell yourself that you're good. So then what that means is, if you feel that I'm good today, then I'm good. If you feel that I'm an asshole or I'm bad or I'm nothing tomorrow, then I'm nothing? Is that what we teaching people? Nah, it don't work like that. Self-esteem, self-love, all this other stuff, that's the type of stuff that make people commit suicide, because they put everybody else in control of who they are, and that's not the way you should live. So when he said that to me, it just opened my mind to a whole new perspective. It's something that I already knew, but in the moment I didn't take that action. And when he said that, I was like, wow, and it was a lesson learned that needed to happen for me to become a better person. And ever since then, that never happened. So going back to Ben Kuchera, he was on Gamer Tag Radio, and he was like, and something happened, and he mentioned my name saying he don't like HipHopGamer. And my man Godfrey was like, well, why you don't like hip hop? Because me and Godfrey, that's my man. And he was like, because he starts fights at conferences, and he does this and does that. And he's like, whoa. Starts fights. So when you put stuff out there like that, you know what I'm saying, that's inaccurate, you still gonna have people that may believe that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't care what people say, but I do care about the truth. And if I'm being lied on, now we gotta set that straight. So once you know the truth, then you feel free to decide and feel the way you want to feel. But as long as your feelings is based on something true, not based on a lie. So I take that personally. So I seen him at a Call of Duty event that we went to. And when I seen him, he didn't. What I didn't like is that he didn't have that same energy when I approached him.
Okay.
That's what I didn't like. Because when I approached him, he had a smile on his face and he tried to be hospitable. And but your energy on that podcast, was different.
Yep, totally
negative. Yeah. So when I came to him, I was like, "Yo, bro," like, and then before I could even finish everything I was gonna say, it's like that. He was like, "My bad," because before I saw him in person, I reached out to him on Twitter, and I was like, "Yo, that's not even what happened." And I explained to him what happened. And he was like, "Oh, well, I didn't know." Yeah, you didn't know, but you spoke on something that you didn't know, and what you say on people can be very effective and wrong and cruel. You don't go about things like that. So even when he said that, he was kind of nonchalant about it. Then we had another conversation when I saw him in person, and it was smoothed out. We took pictures together. We was on video together. Torrance was there. All of that stuff, and everything seemed to be cool. And then here's the two-faced part. Everything cool now. Yep. Then I think the next year I was promoted or given the title. I became the face of the ECA when the ECA was around. And then he came out and he was talking about how why would the ECA hire someone like a HipHopGamer? He's this, he's that. I was with you, chilling, kicking it. We talking, squash that misunderstanding before, and then this pops up, which is a real good thing because you never seen nobody of a minority, nobody black, ever have this particular role in something that's very important to the gaming industry at the time, and you're gonna get at me like that? So I was like, okay, all right. Because see, you're not a kid, you're an adult. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be an adult and act like a kid, I can't rock with you. You know what I mean? So when that happened, I saw him again. I saw him at PAX East in Boston. And when I saw him, he was around some people, right? So I'm literally walking up to him, about to interrupt the whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? Be like, yo, what up? Because what I was doing, I was getting the camera ready. Because you know me, I document everything. I don't play that. Because I don't want nobody trying to say I'm lying. Nah, everything I say I can prove. Or else I don't talk about it. So I was getting the camera and everything all set up and getting everything ready. And either he saw me and I didn't see him see me. But all I know is I looked up and this dude was walking fast and he was gone. So I was like, I ain't chasing nobody. So, you know, it is what it is. Forget it.
Yeah.
But
he knows what's up.
Yeah, but the point is, the moral of the story is, like, that's why I don't rock with Ben Kuchera is someone that's like an opportunist. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he and to prove my point, when he came out with that article saying that he's leaving the game industry for a while because he was like burnt out and he didn't have the same passion and he felt it wasn't right. You felt that way for a long ass time, and I don't know what happened behind the scenes. But you finally decided to come out and admit something that I already knew for a long time. You know what I mean? And then he left the industry, and then he came back after a while, and blah, blah, blah. So when you see something like that happen, I've discovered that that happens a lot. And there's a lot of people that's in the industry that's not happy, but they're doing it to get a check. And if that's what you're doing it for, then don't call yourself a gamer. Just call yourself a standard journalist, and you'll be a game journalist today and a newspaper journalist for Trump tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So Come on.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Like I can understand if someone wants to take a break, a breather, because you do get burnt out. You do, there are people who just just need a breather. And
No,
that's fine.
no. You're not understanding my point. No, let me explain something to you.
All right.
Needing a breather may mean I've been working real hard. I need to get some sleep because I'm tired today and I can't do what I normally do every day.
Okay.
So I got to get some rest today.
Okay.
Like that's what taking a breather is. Leaving the industry because you're not passionate about it no more, or you don't love it no more, or is this the no?
Okay.
Yeah, see, my thing is the problem with a lot of industries. They remove the barrier of standards. Look at hip hop, and I'm related to the games, but look at hip hop. Before, you used to have to write your own material. It used to have to make sense, have a message, be on the delivery got to be right, the performance got to be right, like everything had to be right. Now you can go on stage and you don't even got to recite your lyrics. You can just let the music play in the back and you can say, hey, throw some water, jump around, and get off the stage. And oh wow, it's a great performance. Are you kidding me? But that's where we've gone downhill. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, the moment bullshit starts getting accepted, standard starts to get removed, and then people that's real gets overlooked because it's easier for fake to exist. Yeah. So you would never, since 2008, from a professional standpoint to 2018, when has anybody ever in their life in the game industry or any industry period ever seen me not hyped, not excited, not ready to go? When? Point that out to me.
I can't, to be honest, because
you understand what I'm saying?
Like even when I met you, I think it was at CES or at E3. Hey, Chaotic Fool, thank you for the host. Like when I met you, like you were energized. Every single event I saw you win, like the Ubisoft and the EA event, you were hyped.
Yep.
You're always hyped. A little bit too
my
hyped.
Point. My point is this. My point is this. When you live it, when you eat it, when you smell it, when you breathe it, there's no gray area. There's no I'm in today and out tomorrow. Then no, there's none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make, you take a break from your job. You know what I'm saying? But you don't take a break from your life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I was to go on vacation and chill and stuff like that on the beach and everything, I could go chill, have a good time on the beach, and at some point in time throughout that 24-hour day, I'm gonna check up on what's going on because I'm passionate. Like, it's me. It's like that's just what it is, man. It's your life. It's the parallel to how you breathe. This is what you do. And if you want to be the best version of yourself, you can be when it comes to what you're passionate about. You have to set such a standard that the majority can't do. It has not done.
Okay.
See, there's a difference between 99% and 1%. You got to ask yourself, are you the 99% of people that's doing this, or are you a part of the 1% of people that's doing it? See, when you're the 1%, you're very rare. So when you're rare, you're very special. So you got to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like a HipHopGamer don't come around, every day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, someone with the amount of energy and passion like you have, there's no one else. So.
Period. And that came out of your mouth. So the point I'm trying to say is this. Why is it that this industry the professional side of this industry been going on since like 1972 or something like that, right? And it's 2018. I've entered the industry in 2008. It's 2018. Before, now, and after, there's literally only been one HipHopGamer, bro. And that right there plays a part in your role and your legacy and things of that nature. The grind, the growth, all of that other stuff. See, that's what I value.
Yeah.
If you could be a part of the 1% out of the 100%, then we can have a conversation. Until then, you're just another person in a pot that could be replaced. And what I mean by that is this: IGN's entire staff could get fired. GameSpot's entire staff could get fired, and literally nobody would care besides the people that's losing their money. And they'll just replace the entire staff with whole new faces, because they not following those people. They following the brand name GameSpot. They following the brand name IGN.
Yep.
You know what's so funny? Yo, did you hear that review on IGN?
Which one?
Did you see that review on IGN? No, that's what people say. They don't say, did you see the review that such and such wrote and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the first thing out their mouth, did you see that review on IGN?
Yeah.
IGN is not a person. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, it takes a lot more work to put everything on your back and on your name and go out and go hard like how a corporation would do. Yeah. See, what I'm doing the same thing that corporations do, but me as an independent. You understand?
Yeah. Networking, basically. Networking, marketing.
Yeah. So that's the difference. So that's why if anybody ever try to come at me and say, oh, well, you're just, no, don't even do it. Like, you can't do it. You wouldn't even say it. You wouldn't even think it. I always make sure that everything I do is so far gone and different and, you know, challenging and exciting and uncommon that when you see me, you have them, then you got me. And I like it like that.
So you've never had that feel of competition then?
Nope.
But isn't competition good though?
Competition is great, but I don't need competition to be competitive. See, the thing is, I give you an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at a lot of my material all the time. I look at my interviews over and over. I look at a lot of things all the time. Because I'm competing with myself to make sure I'm getting better. Because the better I get, that means I'm giving better value to people. And my goal is to provide value to everybody else that consumes the content. You know what I'm saying? Most people are selfish. They just want to do anything to put it out and get their check at the end of the day. Like, I want to make sure that you actually like the shit that I do, that it was good for you, because you giving me something that you can't get back, and that's your time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're willing to give me time because I work hard to put out some content, that's what makes the difference. That's what it's all about. Caring about the fact that somebody gave you time. They gave you something that they can't get back. You can spend $1, lose $1, make $1, make 100, make 1,000,000. You could do that shit. But time is something you can't get back. Time that somebody gave to me, where they watched me for 2 hours, could have been time they spent with their family. But they decided to give it to me. Like, that's how deep I look at it. I'm pretty sure you never even heard people talk like this on the interview that you've done with other people.
Nope. Mm-mm. And I've had people, from the industry talk about, what they do and all of that, and hope to have more. But yeah, it's like it's a whole other ball game when it comes to what you do, and for how long you've done it. 10+ years basically now.
Yeah, and the thing is, what people don't understand is that I've already won. Let me tell you. I won when God allowed me to have my grandma. God gave me my grandma because I never met my mother. And I don't remember ever meeting my mother. You know what I'm saying? She left when I was 2, I believe. I was very, very young age. So I never ever had a relationship with my mother. My father, we have a much better relationship now, but back then it wasn't so much. So my grandmother was everything to me, literally. She kept me in church, kept me right. I always say my grandma raised me right. That's like a new slogan that I have when I'm really explaining to people why I am the way I am. So she's the one that, gave me the games and stuff like that. Now, my point I'm trying to make here is that my life and everything that I do in it stems from something that she gave me, and my grandmother never leaves my side. She's with me every day. Every heartbeat that God gives me, my grandmother is beating along with me. Like, this is how serious the shit is.
Yeah.
So when you think about it from that standpoint, the average person that look at game journalism or being in the game industry, they looking at it like, oh, this is cool, I like it, it's fun, let me get my stream up and do this. They not talking about it or coming at it from a standpoint that I'm coming at it, because it's something that literally saved my life. My grandmother used gaming as a tool to help save my life. She didn't just give me games to just play them.
Yeah.
She gave me games so that I could learn things. I could be more in tune with things. I can feel like I don't need to be outside in the street doing dumb shit to be popular, to be important. I could sit at home, play games, have fun, and enjoy that, and that could be my high. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Like, she utilized gaming as a tool to construct my actual behavior, bro. Like, this is deeper than just playing a game.
Yeah, she kept you safe with that.
Yeah, exactly. So, come on, man. Like it's different. So, when I hear people say certain things or talk certain things, I'm like, yo, you don't even understand the level that I'm on with this. And if you ain't ready to have that level of a standard when it comes to this culture and gaming and really caring about how other people can benefit from the way my life turned out, yo, B, come on, man. You got to care about other people. That's a part of the, I wouldn't say it's a part of the job, because I don't look at this as a job, but it's a part of the legacy you want to leave, so that at the end of the day, somebody could be like, yo, like, HipHopGamer different, man. Every time I watch his videos, he make me feel like this, or he inspires me. He always put God first, like, and this dude is still cool. Like, he's not corny like how other people would try to label you to be corny when you're doing something good. Especially coming from where we come from, negativity is what's glorified. The drug dealers and all that stuff, that's what's glorified, because they're the ones that got all the money and all the girls, and people think that that's what makes you valuable. So it's just all twisted. I'm trying to change the narrative of all of that. So when I look at gaming, it's not just playing a game, having fun. This is the ability to change your life, to be able to affect other people's lives.
Has the grind ever gotten easier?
Has the grind gotten easier? No, because every time you grow, there's a saying that we got called new level, new devil. So what it is as you get bigger, the struggle gets harder. Let me tell you how the devil works so you can understand.
All right.
If you already doing some bullshit, the devil's like, oh, I don't got to pay attention to you that much. You already doing some dumb shit. I'm good. But if you're doing great things that can affect the people that he already, got on a bad path, they're coming at you harder, because you're dangerous to the bad people, because you're doing so many good things. So they got to try to make everything that much harder. You know what I'm saying? So we could be running the same race, but there's a lot of different obstacles in front of me within that race. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it get harder, but see, I love it. I get more excited the harder it get. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But I get more excited. And the reason why I get more excited, because that's God letting me know that I was worthy of this challenge, and anything that I do, I know I'm going to be victorious, because he's not going to give me anything that's too big for me to handle. So anything that comes at me, whether it's negative or whether it's a challenge, I'm like, oh wow, I'm being prepared for my next big blessing. Let's go. I get hype. You see, I'm still here, right?
Yep.
All right then. I'm living proof of what I'm saying.
How do you balance out, your personal life with what you do?
Well, in my situation, with friends and family, my son, my girl, and everything like that. Here's how I break it down. I have a certain, I have a set time where, I'm with my son and I'm doing these things and stuff. And, me and my girl, we both in the industry together. So that's a great plus right there. The house that I'm in, my family is in this house. So, it's easy to connect with the family like that. So my life is pretty much organized where I can still maximize my personal family time and stuff like that. But here's the thing. I don't look at always how much time I'm spending. I'm looking at what I'm doing within the time I am spending. So you could spend 2 hours with somebody and feel like that shit was wasted. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of time. Or you could spend 10 minutes with somebody and it was such a good 10 minutes that it just filled you up. Like, it was like, yo, I'm good. Like, go ahead, I'll talk to you later. Because that 10 minutes was the 10 minutes that you needed to help your whole day get better. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you can pick up the phone and talk to somebody for a few minutes and they made your whole day better.
Yeah.
And you can spend 2 hours arguing with somebody and they can make your day worse. So the point is, it's not just spending time, but it's how impactful you want to utilize that time to be for the people that you love, that's in your circle, that you're trying to instill in them, who you are, and teach and show and be valuable. And also, you living your life doing your thing is actually helping them, because you're a living representation of what you talk about. So that's going to encourage them, Lord willing, to want to do better in their personal life. So even the time that we may not spend together in front of each other or talking, the time that I spend doing my own thing is still affecting them as well.
That's true.
So that's how I look at it, man. It's all about mindset. My standards aren't based on what people put on me. My standards is based on what God said and me just doing the best I can as a human, because nobody's perfect. And I live with that. That's it. I don't stress out or worry about nothing. I'm great, period. And I'll continue to be great. And at the same time I'm great, I am also humble. And I'm also thankful. I'm also helpful. You know how I get down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, recognize real. When HipHopGamer come through and anything that I do, it will be felt.
And that's like, it's really positive to, it's really important to keep that positive mentality and energy, but with the climate that the gaming industry is in, with the, I wouldn't say infectious, but with the PC culture that is creeping in, like wanting... You
talking about the political correct culture?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your opinion about that? I'm all for diversity in gaming and all of that, but when they try and push a narrative and virtue signal, like what's your stance on that?
It depends on what it is. So for example, if put like this, right? If you look at every major publication out there, from GameSpot to IGN, a lot of these companies that's funded by either CBS or funded by Microsoft, Polygon is, if you look at all of these big giant brands, right? Not once ever in existence have they ever had, a person of minority, like a black person, Asian person, or whoever, deliver your game news. Like how they did with Greg Miller and how they doing with Max Scoville and stuff. They never ever had somebody like that deliver their game news every day, all day. You could Google IGN right now. My girl did it, and you look at IGN hosts, and they all white for the entirety, the full existence of IGN's website. So the point I'm trying to make is, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job or work. You can hire whoever you want. It's your business. I get it. But the point is, there's a reason for it. You know what I'm saying? Systematically, there's a reason for it. See, the thing is, look at what happened to me when I got too big on N4G.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You understand what I'm saying? So now think about it. Since I was on N4G and I was the biggest person, not just on N4G, just the biggest person, period. Like, it was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was the biggest person, and it was the only person that was black from the hood, talked the way I talk, but did a damn good job and better than everybody else according to what people, were saying. Period. Even the developers won't go live and say this because, they trying to keep, good relationships with everybody. I understand it. Yeah. But literally all the developers that I like interviewed or talked to or whatever, like they'll be like, yo, like, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for the interview, for real, because I ain't gonna go into detail, but you know what's up. So the point I'm trying to make is, why is that? We never see. Think about it. Since me, this is 2012. It's 2018 now. It's been 6 years since you've seen another dominant black person take over like N4G and stuff like that. And what I'm really happy about, I'm happy about my man Malik Forte, because he's doing his thing on E-League and all these other spots and places and stuff. Like, he's doing great, so I'm happy to see that. But why is it that on one hand I could count a few people that's doing things on that level, and on everything else is, different.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to say is that it's done that way on purpose. I'll give you another example. It's not just the game journalists or the sites, it's also the games themselves. Call of Duty is one of the biggest games in the world. It's been a top-selling game for 9 years straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a black lead in Call of Duty. Never been like a lead other than a white person. Now, what does Call of Duty represent in this country? Oh, you're a hero. You're a soldier. You're this. You're that. So we got to make sure we keep that white. Real talk. There's never ever been. And then what's so funny?
Yeah.
The first time that they ever had a situation where you could change the skin tone of a character, they didn't even have a black skin tone.
Oh, damn.
So my thing is, when it comes to the political correctness, I understand what you're saying. Some people may try to force the issue because it's an issue that will get a lot of clicks, so they'll play on it. But you really do got real issues and real situations that need to be talked about and things that need to be answered for, like what I'm just talking about right now. So it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Like if it's a situation where you can literally tell that somebody is trying to like use their feelings to get attention because they bored today, like I'm not entertaining that. Like, you full of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody try to come out and be like, oh, I'm offended because you said that my hair is pink, but to me it's blue. Motherfucker, if the shit is pink, it's pink. If you don't like that or you feel it's blue, then you stay in your feelings and keep your feelings to yourself. But I'm telling you what it is. The shit is pink. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you got stuff like that, I'm not entertaining that. That joint is dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? But real situations and real matters, I want to have those discussions, because those discussions is going to expose the truth. And a lot of people that people think is really great and really nice and really amazing is really not that great or nice or amazing at all. To me, and I know this for a fact because I'm in the industry and things been done to me. So I know what's real, I know what's not, and it's cool. But everything in the dark will come to light, and it is what it is. I don't dwell on it. I just do me. Everything else will come out on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what people need to keep in mind, especially, be it that they work in the gaming industry or outside of it, like in the gaming journalism. Having worked in the industry myself, like I gotta say the most toxic, I would say, would be when I was working in the U.S. When I was working in the West Coast.
Right.
When I was working, in Europe, they have standards, they have laws and practices and all of that. But, you didn't have this whole push and tug of this abuse of power. It was crazy coming back here, and it's like, oh, holy shit, what happened? What's going on?
Yep. And the reason why you have abuse of power is because that's how people measure value.
Yep.
So, because society measures value by what you have, not who you are, everybody would literally kill each other just so they can have so much to impress people that they don't know or care about, just so they could not feel powerless. Like, but the thing is,
yeah,
the problem with that whole situation is like what I was saying earlier. You are basing your life based on the standards of somebody else set for you. Like, that shit is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
See, the thing is, like with me, like I already won. You wanna know why? Because I'm doing what I love for a living.
Yeah.
I already won. I'm just trying to capitalize on my winnings to be more effective and help more people and take what I'm doing and just multiplying it. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? But I already won. So think about it like this, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you're playing at Evo and you win a championship. That's great. You already won. But there's going to be other things and other championships and other tournaments and other stuff like that you're going to want to win too.
Yeah.
But in reality, you've already won. You already proved that you won. You already accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. Now you just want to accomplish more of the same and more of new things if you want to or if you can. But you set the bar based on, like, you got to tell yourself what is happiness to you? What is it to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like your happiness may be being in the military flying a plane. Like that's your happiness. That's what you want to do for your life. That's great. Who am I to say that that's what you shouldn't do because that's not what's gonna make you happy? No, that's not what's gonna make you happy. It's gonna make me happy, and my happiness matters over what you think you're happy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. It's dumb. So for me, I already won. I get to do what I want to do for a living. That's it. Like that right there alone, literally, at minimum is everybody's goal. If every single person right now could wake up in the morning and do what they wanted to do for a living,
yeah.
This people would, you wouldn't even have time to be mad at everybody because you're so happy doing the shit you're doing. You ain't got time to beef and be mad or want to hurt people or rob somebody because you're too busy doing what you love to do, and your bills is taken care of, and your family is good. Like, come on, B. This shit is not hard. People take simple things and make them hard and make them complex on purpose to make you feel like you need them, when in reality you don't. See, don't get me wrong. We all need each other. People need people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't need everybody that's a person. Certain people need certain people. You don't need every single damn body. That's that because not everybody is for you.
Unless you're a
and that's fine.
But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So that's crazy.
But yeah, it is. It is. I do want to ask though. This is a totally different subject. Because talk about personal life, all that. It's great. But I want to ask your honest to God opinion about something.
All right, let's go.
What's your thoughts, your predictions, your theories about next generation consoles and the future of gaming from there?
Okay, that was a great question. All right. So, and you want my thoughts, my theories, and my projections?
Yeah.
Okay. My thoughts on the next generation is that it's going to be the last time we see the console format in the form of, traditional hardware.
Okay.
That's my thoughts. My projections is that by 2026, everything will be able to be streamed in a successful manner. Everything would probably be subscription based, and Sony needs to get prepared for it because Microsoft already got a leg up in that area. And if Microsoft secure the right deals, and when I mean the right deals, I'm talking about, you remember how people was talking about having exclusive video games on their system? Yeah. Like Microsoft may be looking at beyond just exclusive games, but exclusive services on their system. Like if you get the Xbox whatever, it comes with Netflix for free, or it comes with Prime for Amazon Prime for free, or you get Fresh Direct for or you get free UPS. It's like I think they're about to start tapping into the real world value, not just gaming value. And I think that's going to be a very strategic move in the market, because now, for example, when PS2 came out with DVD, everybody was like, "Yo, I gotta get that." So they play DVDs. Yep. So people bought it not just for gaming. They bought it to use as a DVD player, but in case you want a game, you can do so.
DVD, music player,
everything. So I feel like that mentality, that dynamic, is about to repeat itself in a significant way. Whereas if you get a Microsoft box or some sort of something, and it comes with Netflix, it comes with this, like they got exclusive partnership deals with this, meaning that if you buy a Sony platform or whatever, you won't have access to certain things that you would want to have that access to because it's all in one. So I think that's the next level of the battle.
Well, yeah, they also need to work on their servers, but yeah, Sony.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said it was thoughts, it was projections and theories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So my theory is that Microsoft. So Microsoft, I'll start with Microsoft first, then Sony, then Nintendo.
All right.
With Microsoft, my theory is that Azure was always their ace in the hole. Like that was always the ace they had up their sleeve. So 56% of Microsoft's entire revenue is based off Azure.
Okay.
So my thing is, I think they're about to take Azure and utilize it for all things entertainment overall, and they're gonna eventually possibly surpass Apple and be the most branded value, the most value brand in the world. That's
Okay.
one of my theories. That's one of my theories for Microsoft. Second, for Sony, my theory with Sony, I think Sony, if you look at the AMC theater and the movie experiences and all this other stuff that's happening, I think Sony is going to take all forms of entertainment and 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 create more experiential things for the culture to be involved with. So now it's not just buying games, but it's also being a part of the experiences. So think about it. You see E3, you see all these other things, right?
Mhm.
But Sony also invested in PSX. I think Sony is going to become an experiential company to help add value to the games that they sell and the services that they sell and the brand value that they have. I
Especially
think you're
with
going
the
to,
VR that they're pushing too.
yeah, with the VR, all of that. So I feel like
Mhm.
Sony, just like how they got the PlayStation Theater now, and it's not the Nokia Theater in Times Square.
Mhm.
I think PlayStation as the brand is going to brand themselves amongst every single thing as something that's tangible that people could walk to and touch and experience. You know, I could see a PlayStation Starbucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could see like
Yeah.
a like all of that stuff within the PlayStation world. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of games that they make, I could see real life uh, counterparts of those games existing as a business in itself. Think about it like this, right?
Mhm.
Imagine if you could go to Fallout. Like, imagine if they actually had a restaurant that was a Fallout vault. Like, you walk in the restaurant like you're walking into the Fallout vault.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? You go in there, you sit down, and they serve you what would be served in the actual video game. But it obviously it's edible. But the point I'm trying to say is, I think that's my theory on where I think Sony is going to take it because they have so many exclusives and so many brands that they built out of their exclusives that I could see them turning games into actual real life experiences as a normality.
All right. So not just like a theme park or anything, but something like an everyday. You go down to the
It,
store and pick up.
yeah, like I could see PlayStation having their own supermarket. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see like them doing things like that and providing an experience that think about it like this. If you look at any supermarket, anything, all they're doing is pretty much the same thing. The only difference is who's serving it to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could go to Walmart and buy the same bread I could buy at Walgreens. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the difference? But if you have like a PlayStation branded supermarket where when you go in there, you're gonna go down the Ratchet and Clink aisle. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go to the Infamous section. Like, you know what I mean? Like all this other, like these is the things that I see happening in around 2025, 2026. And I think if they invest in these things now, they're gonna dominate. So that's that. Then my next theory for Nintendo, I honestly feel that Nintendo, honestly, man,
Yeah.
my whole theory on Nintendo is that they pretty much gonna be the same.
Yeah.
I don't
No
really
doubt.
see I don't really see Nintendo changing besides coming out with a Switch 2 that's a little bit powerful that can do that probably has VR and AR built in it where you could take your VR and AR in a mobile way. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like I think that could be cool, but for the most part, I don't see them making major strides because I feel that I feel like they're a company that's too comfortable.
Yeah. They're used to resting on their laurels. Laurels being Mario. But yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they're also afraid. Like this is what they've done is they've taken the back seat when it comes to online and chat and all that, and just seeing how it is. And then if it's profitable, then yeah, sure, they'll go for it. Or if it's what the consumers want more enough of, then yeah, sure, they'll go for it. But I don't see them, going into VR anytime soon.
I guess if they, like maybe in about 3 years, I can see it because that Labo, that cardboard box stuff that they got,
Oh my god.
they actually have a VR counterpart to it.
Oh my
But
god. Yeah.
but no.
Can't believe they
Or
actually put that one out.
yep, and that proves my point. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Rumor has it is that Google is coming up with their own system as well.
Yep. Here's the big problem with that. If Google don't have any exclusives, it ain't gonna matter. That's it. Just
Yeah.
don't do it. Like, see, the problem is a lot of these companies, they get so big that they think they could do anything because they think money fixes everything. Nope.
Exclusive.
Everything is all about culture. Everything is about culture. Everything is about quality. If you ain't got culture and you ain't got the quality within the culture, I don't give a damn what your name is. It's the same thing if you look at music and gaming. You really think these companies care about if they get Jay-Z or not on their soundtrack? Like, their games is bigger than their games is bigger than everything. Like, what? Come on, man. like Michael Jackson can't even sell like a video game does. Like, come on, man. God bless the dead, but come on.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson sold 26 million on his biggest joint. Grand Theft Auto 5 did 90 million and it's still selling, and that was $60 a pop. Come on, man. But let's not get into that conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah. Do you have any closing statements, and do you have any advice for those who want to focus on being, an entertainer or a journalist in the industry?
Well, my first advice is know who you are, accept who you are, and show who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that again. Know who you are, accept who you are, show who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, somebody will try to tell you. Okay?
Yep.
If you accept who you are, then nobody can take nothing from you, and you actually know the power that you actually have to offer. The value and everything, the whole bag. When you show who you are, people get exposed. So you can know who you should have around you and who you should not.
Yeah.
So I think that those key elements are heavily important before you do anything. But when it comes to, gaming journalism and, whatever you want to do, once you have that, then everything else is the creative part. What I would say is don't try to be somebody you're not, and don't look at what other people are doing in the process of your creativity. You know what I'm saying? You can admire other people, you can be a fan of something, that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't allow your creativity to solely be based on something that you saw. Allow your creativity to come to you. Because if you're a creative person, creative people are creative naturally. You know what I'm saying? You don't just like, I'm creative because there's certain people that naturally are creative. As they get older, like they could be 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? As they get older, certain things just come to them. Like it's just a natural thing when it comes to creativity. That's why not everybody could do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you look at hip hop, everybody's trying to rap, everybody's trying to do this. They're not that good because everybody's not creative. But if you remove your standard, now everybody seems like they're great when they're not. And then it ruins everything. But in the game industry, not everybody is Naughty Dog.
Yep.
Not everybody is Sony Santa Monica. That's what makes the game industry so special. Because you have a lot of great developers. You got a lot of developers that's not great. You got some developers that's the elite of the elite. And you could literally see the gap in talent.
Yeah.
There's a beauty there. If you look at basketball, you got 12 players on the team, but you got starters, you got people on the bench, You got people that get cut. You got people that become legends. There's a reason for this. You know what I mean? So as long as you're creative and this is something that you really want to do, then you're good to go. But just remember, know who you are, accept who you are, then show who you are.
Alrighty.
That's it. That was great, man. I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate being on the show. This is dope, man. Real talk, dope questions, all of that. Before we go, is there anything that I said on your show today that provided value for you, or enlighten you about anything or whatever? Since we haven't spoken years.
Oh God, yeah, we haven't spoken years and years. Yeah, definitely. It's always good to get another fresh perspective of not only what has been going on in the industry, but also what's been going on, with journalism itself. Like when you talked about like the whole Ben Kuchera incident, that it surprised me then, and it still surprises me now that still happens, because that mentality is still there.
Yep.
And I don't know why, and he's still like that. So, some people change, some don't. But, and also with your predictions with like the next generation consoles, and I fully agree with Sony branding itself and taking over some other fields that the consumer would widely see and most likely accept. And also with your just about everything else, and more so with a closing statement with be who you are and see who you are, if I got that one right.
Yeah, it was know who you are. It was know who you are, accept who you are, and show who you are.
It's difficult with streamers, and it's time for me to lay something down here. And I haven't mentioned this to like other streamers. I haven't mentioned this to anyone, and maybe I have, and I just forgot. I have a terrible memory, but for all the streamers who are watching, for those who want to be streamers, for those who have been doing it for for however long, just like HipHopGamer said, but more so with the fact that look at what you're doing, look at what you're trying to build, look at the community that you're growing. If you were given the choice between quality and quantity, that being the followers and the community that you have, which one would you value more? Also, if you're going in for more business personal reasons, which one would the business want to see? Quality following and community or quantity following community? Now, you could say, oh, they would go for quantity because it's always numbers and it's a numbers game. When it comes to business, that is slightly true, but it's also for quality. And by quality, I mean people who are loyal to the brand, loyal to your community, who have really good connections, those who visit your stream every single day, who fully support you all the time, people who actually give a damn. That, from business perspective, is what they want to see. They want to see that kind of growth because they know it's strong. They know the dedication is there. They know the brand will last longer because you can have a pool of fish and they'll just swim all about and leave at the first sign of trouble, or you can have a dedicated, I don't even know the word, but a group of sharks who stay and stick with each other. I don't know if sharks actually stick with each other, but still, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Also, from my perspective and talking to streamers as well, is there are, and even you made this point, HipHopGamer, you have your Scottie Pippins, you have your Michael Jordans, you have your unfortunate Dennis Rodmans, But
Yep.
but
Oh man, that's funny.
but you have those for a reason, because those are the ones who put in the time, who put in the effort, and not only that, it's because they network. They reach out not just to other streamers and to family members, but they also try and network within the industry. They try and network to the to gaming journalists as well, try and get their name out there, try and get their brand out there. You know, you see streamers out there with like G Fuel and whatever else, you know, try and get sponsorships. That's great, go for it. But at the same time, if you really want to push yourself and make yourself known, I highly recommend that you try and make a name for yourself within gaming companies. Go to E3, go to CES, talk to these people, go to the after parties. You know, contact the PR people at these gaming companies. Have a profile on LinkedIn, and just network. Explain who you are. Be professional about it, and they will reach back to you. Some will say no. It's a numbers game. Some will say no. It will happen. As for me, I've worked in the industry. I've worked East Coast, West Coast, Japan, Poland, Germany, North and South of Germany. So I've made connections. I've done that. Hell, I'm working my network. I'm trying to get sponsorships. I'm trying to make myself known out there. And it's a numbers game. It doesn't happen overnight like that. I've been trying to work it ever since I was at Twitch. And I left Twitch. That was almost 2 years. That was over 2 years ago.
Wow.
But still, though, network. Know who you know. Work it. And there you go. Just grind.
Wow. I like that, man.
It's dedication. It's passion. And you know what? You're gonna get hit with a lot of no's. But you know what that means? There's gonna be a yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
It's just that as long as you have, and this is very important,
Yep.
real talk, you have to be able to endure some sort of pain
Yep.
before the victory comes.
There's
And
gotta
if
be
you ain't-
sacrifice.
Exactly. So my thing is, if you ain't built for that, that's fine.
Yep.
But don't complain about other people's success if you ain't built to take the scars, and if you ain't built to take the hits. Because you could look at Instagram all you want, and people could make you think whatever they want you to think. I get it. But in reality, behind the scenes, it takes a lot of work and sacrifice. And if you ain't built for that, that's fine. But stay in your lane and don't talk about anybody else's. And I think that's the best way to, be smart about making your moves. And then we good.
Yep. But
That was great, man.
Yep. And again, I thank you, man. And hey, anytime you want to get back on, talk, chat, it's all good. No, you already have my contact information.
Yeah, of course. You know how I go.
Yeah. So definitely, man. Yeah, for anyone else that's interested in co-streaming and all of that, HipHopGamer should definitely get on Mixer and leave Twitch because it's good for him.
I'm on Mixer.
You're on Mixer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't got as many followers as you. I got like 40 something followers right now, but I stream every day to Mixer, bro. What are you talking about? See, with me, I use Restream, so I'm actually streaming to Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, and Periscope every day.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you know that. Well, yeah. To reach. Well, are you concerned about being partnered with Mixer?
Am I concerned about being partnered?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not concerned about. Being partnered and stuff like that. But what I will say is this: like, okay, so here's the deal. When it comes to being partnered with anybody and stuff like that, I love Mixer. I love what they're doing, and they already know I want in. So we already in talks to do something. But the thing is, my partnerships is not traditional or normal. Like, my partnerships is designed to be the best shit y'all ever gonna see. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot more time, but I got plans to do some amazing things with Mixer, something that's very unexpected with Mixer. I got plans to do stuff with like a lot of companies and a lot of people. So at the end of the day, it's not what you do only, but it's also how you do it. And don't always worry about trying to be first to do something. Just do your best to be the best at what it is you're doing, and then everything will fall into place. Real talk.
Yep. Absolutely agree. All right, man. Thank you, Gerard Williams, aka Hip Hop Gamer. Thank you very much for spending the time to be on here, man.
Yeah, this was dope, man. I appreciate it. I can't wait to repost this and put this stuff out. I think there's a lot of things that people can learn from that was on this episode. So I appreciate you having me on, man. And on that note, one love and God bless the one and only Hip Hop Gamer, Hot 97, Logitech G. The team is with me. Let's get it popping, man. Thank you for having me on, DariusSlayer. We out here, baby. Peace.
All right, peace.